Hey peeps, welcome back to Lex and Big T's extravaganza. Um, Today I actually wanted to talk to you guys about, a big milestone that's actually going on in our life. Starting to, give you guys some insight on what's going on with us and so forth, and like basically, ugh, basically inviting you guys in. Okay, so this milestone is, as you can see, yeah, yes, guys, I am pregnant. Look at the baby bump. Ooh, 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 ooh. Boom, 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 boom. But yes, guys, I am pregnant. 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 I'm pregnant. But yeah, right now I am currently 38 weeks pregnant. I know it doesn't really make much sense. We start a vlog at the end, well, a vlog at the end of my pregnancy. So it really much, that's why I didn't really think about making any pregnancy vlogs or anything like that, because I'm like, why? I'm already like so far along, so there's like no point. But I did want to catch up with you guys, like basically give you guys an insight on how my pregnancy started and how it's been going up until now. So I'm basically gonna cover like a few points. I'm not gonna make this video too long because I am babysitting, so I have to make sure that the kids are doing what they're supposed to be doing out there. They're currently watching TV, so hopefully that gives me enough time before somebody actually walks in here and starts bothering me. But yeah, so let's get right into it. I wrote down a couple notes because baby brain does exist. Because I've struggled with it for real, for like before my pregnancy. Like I was like to the T, remembering stuff on top of my stuff and whatever. But like now I forget like literally everything. Like I'll walk into the kitchen and I'll be like, what did I get here? Come here for? And I'm like, whatever. Then I'll go back to my room and then I'm like, oh snap, I need to get that. And then I'll go back to the kitchen and I'm like, why am I here? So it's like, yeah, it's like really like, yeah, it's crazy. But let's start out with how I found out I was pregnant. Okay, so the way that I found out I was pregnant was I recently had a stillborn in January. Yeah, I know, boohoo. But what happens? Eventually you heal, you grow. You, you not get over it, but you get stronger, and you tend to be able to. You start to recuperate and wake up every morning and not be as sad as you were the day before. But you do heal. It's a process, but you do heal. It takes time, but it does happen. So yeah, I found out I was pregnant because even after with my first child, but I'll talk about my whole stillborn story in another video. But with my first child, after I lost my child in January, me and Tommy was like, we were a bit iffy, whatever, when it came to our relationship and stuff, because we just had a loss. And usually one or two things can happen after losing a child. You either can grow stronger together, or sometimes it tends to cause you to fall apart in a relationship, or not bounce back as you were before, because it all depends on how each person takes it. So with us was a little rocky, so it was like, okay, whatever, and then we spoke about it, and he handled it much better than I did. One moment, excuse me. Okay, sorry, that's in regards to the kids. But yeah, so basically he we spoke about it. He took it way better than I did. Yeah, so and we talked about whether or not we're gonna try for another kid or whatever. But like this baby wasn't planned, even though we did speak about planning in the future. But this was like so unplanned. So usually Tommy leaves off and goes to school because he does go to university out of state and whatever, and we'll visit each other from time to time while he's out of state or whatever. And while he was out in school, he came back down in, I believe, March of this year for spring break. It was spring break time. He came back down, spent time with his family, with me, and whatever. And we spent a lot of time together and whatever it was, doing boyfriend girlfriend stuff. And one thing led to another, and again, we spoke, conversation, talked about when he was done with school because it was his last semester, what he was gonna do, And, you know, what we were planning for, you know, I had a very well paying job at the time, and he was gonna get a job off of his degree. And we are talking about, you know, we're gonna plan for, you know, getting a place and so forth and all that stuff, and planning for, you know, maybe a future child as well. So after we had all that discussion, you know, he went and he left back for school again. He was here for about a week. He left back for school. And when he left back for school, you know, I still kept in touch with like my last community that I was in when it came to my first pregnancy, because they did have a stillborn section for people who just lost their child and so forth, and whether they were going to be trying again or whether they're going to take their time before they try again. So it was really good, like being able to relate to other mothers and, you know, other people who went through the same thing that I went through. So it would also help me within my healing process as well. So there was a group of, you know, mothers who were like really trying, and they were getting, you know, frustrated and that they weren't able to, you know, get pregnant and whatever. So they had set a date on April, was it April 1st or April 2nd? I think it was April 1st, because I remember using it to do a prank as well, like to not prank, but like, I guess funny joke, I'm not sure, but it was April 1st. It was on a Friday, and a Thursday or Friday. And they were like, okay, so everybody, like right now we're in March, it was about March 25th or 24th or so, and, you know, Tommy had just left, you know, for school a couple days before, and he was here the week prior. So, you know, it was April 1st, not April 1st, it was the ending of March. And then they were like, hey, you know what, for all the moms who are trying, actively trying or whatever, and who are ovulating right now or whatever, fertile, whatever case is, we're just gonna have a big old pee on a stick party to support the mothers that are trying. Sorry about that, camera's acting stupid. Okay, so, and they were like, we're gonna have a big old pee on a stick party for the mothers who are, you know, actively trying, and it's, you know, it's hard for them or whatever. So I was okay, you know, to be supportive of those, you know, really trying to conceive and so forth, whatever. You know, I joined in on a pee on a stick party. So, you know, everybody basically brought a pregnancy test and was going to put it on a stick and just put up their results. And whether it was positive or negative, you put it up and, you know, you support those, you know, congratulate all of those who are positive. Those who are negative, you know, try again next month or next week or whatever it is. You know, it was just basically just to support, so that we can support one another, and, you know, to show that, you know, not only one person's getting a negative result. You know, a lot of people are not getting the results that they want to, and there are those that are getting good results, and we're happy for them. So we all did a pee on a stick party, whatever. And while everybody was peeing on a stick, putting up results, like, I couldn't even put up my result because I peed on a stick, and I was like, you know, I'm not expecting to be pregnant. I'm like, hey, I just had, you know, sex last week, and, you know, Thomas just came back, you know, I'm not gonna get a positive, and I didn't expect to be, you know, I didn't even know if I was ovulating or fertile at all. So I was just like, hey, you know, whatever, I'm just peeing on a stick, support, you know, the movement and whatever. And my test came back positive, and I'm like, wait. And I was like, this doesn't even make sense, because I had sex last week Monday and it's Friday, so technically it's only been about 2 weeks and I'm already getting a positive. So I'm like, is that even correct? And I'm like, So then I was double guessing it. So then I was like, you know what? Let me go buy a couple more tests. I brought at least, I kid you not, guys, like 10, 15, like I think it was about 15 pregnancy tests. Like, I went to the dollar store and got a whole bunch. I went and got a clear blue. The clear blue was the last one that I got, and it was like, you're about 1 to 2 weeks pregnant. And I was like, okay, this is the results. Okay, like, this is saying it clear as day. It's not just a line, like, it's saying it clear as day. I went and even got a first response, like, all of that, and it's like they all came back with the same result. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I was scared, because in the beginning I'm like, damn, I just lost a kid. What if something goes wrong? I hate the fact that I found out so early. What if I have an early miscarriage? Like, I was just stressing about so much that I was like, oh my gosh. And then, like, I was like, okay, so how am I gonna tell Tommy? So I called Tom and I'm like, hey, like, you know, and I'm talking on the phone. It's April 1st, and I'm talking on the phone. I'm like, what's up, blah, blah, you know, this and that. We're laughing, joking around, whatever. This is before I go into work. And I'm like, hey, I have something to tell you. And he was like, okay, so, you know, what's up? And I'm like, I'm pregnant. And he was like, huh? He was like, are you serious, Alex? And he was like, I'm scared. But he was like, but, you know, he's, you know, taking the baby, of course, with open arms, but he's just really scared, and he just hoped the same thing doesn't happen twice. Basically concerned the same way I was concerned, but then at the same time a little bit excited because we were about to have another kid. And like, but then, like, when he started talking about like how scared he was, like at first he was like, oh my gosh, and he was excited, but then he started talking about how scared he was. So then that kind of freaked me out. So I was like, you know what, April Fools, I'm just kidding. And he was like, oh, don't play like that, you know, I got excited, but then I was a bit scared, you know, you traumatized me. And I was just like, and then that's when I started to get worried. And I'm like, okay, so like, what if he doesn't really want a kid right now, and whatever. So I started double guessing, you know, thinking about options and choices that I can take in regards to bringing this new kid in the world, even though I don't believe in abortion. But at the moment, I just felt like I didn't want to pressure anybody into anything that they didn't want to do, and I don't want to be a single mother. So yeah, with that being said, so then that's how, you know, basically how I found out I was pregnant. And then eventually, yeah, I told him like 2 months later, like he just asked me out of nowhere. He was like, are you pregnant? And I was like, huh? He was like, I just got a feeling. And then he was like, something about a dream and whatever. So then he asked me, and I was like, yeah, I'm about 2 months already. I'm about to be 2 months. And he was like, what? Blah, blah, blah. And then like about 2 or 3 weeks later, he came right back down from school, and he's been here since after, you know, he found out I was pregnant. Okay. Symptoms. In the beginning, like the first 6 weeks, I was eating like a monster, like a pig. Like first 6 weeks of my pregnancy, I was just eating, knocking down. I was happy. I love food. I love eating. I was just throwing it back. Like, and then I worked at a restaurant, throwing it back. Like I was eating. Once I hit about 6.5 weeks, going on 7 weeks, morning sickness kicked in. And with my first child, I didn't have morning sickness. So I didn't even know what to expect. I would just woke up one morning and I had like this breakfast essential shake and whatever. And I was like, once I get to work, I'm going to get some yogurt and some walnuts and whatever, and eat some fruits. But I didn't even make it to work. And like, I threw up the whole breakfast shake. Like, I was like, what is going on? Oh my God. Like, I was just like so disgusted and so upset, because I'm like, I hope I'm not one of those people with morning sickness, because I love to eat, and it's going to be a problem if I cannot eat because I'm sick all the time. So like, it really pissed me off. So then like, I woke up, I couldn't get any breakfast, I couldn't keep anything down. So I started just like having to munch on like little stuff, and it was like, aggravating. But then like during lunch, I was like, screw that, I guess I'm gonna be throwing up, because I would scoff down like chicken and rice and whatever, and it'd make my stomach hurt and make me nauseous, but I couldn't help it but to eat, and it'd come back up. And then my, you know, it reached a point my manager was like, hey, look, like, you can't keep running through the bathroom off the line, so you're gonna have to try to find a way to manage your sickness. And you know, so I was like, okay, whatever, try to find a way to manage it and whatever it was. And my doctor was like, look, you're just gonna have to cut off your morning shifts, because I used to work about 14 hours a day. I was a cook. So she was like, you're just gonna have to cut your morning shifts short and just go in the afternoon when you're like not really sick. So, you know, I requested that through my manager. It caused a lot of problems. I ended up having to leave, or, you know, got asked to resign or whatever it was, because they were just not agreeing with the whole me working half days, because, you know, what was going on with the line, and I was like the person that's been there the longest, and I knew the most and whatever, and it was just wasn't working right with the schedule of the company or whatever the case was. But back to symptoms. I had vomiting. I was very nauseous. I couldn't keep anything down. I was constantly running to the bathroom. I had dizzy spells. Like, if I would stand for like a long period of time, I'd just get woozy and dizzy and feel like I'm about to faint. So I'd have to hurry up and grab a seat, or like drink some water or some soda, something to like, you know, get me up. And like, and then I think that was partially due to the morning sickness, since nothing was staying down. I didn't really have enough energy. I didn't have that much, you know, food inside me, whatever. And I've always had that problem before I was pregnant, where if I didn't eat enough, or if I went too long without eating, I'd get dizzy and, you know, feel like I need to faint. I fainted before, twice, I believe. But yeah, so I've had that issue before. So then, you know, pregnancy got even worse, because my appetite is even more, and then I'm not eating, and I have morning sickness, and so that. And, you know, then I would feel weak, of course, and I'd feel really weak. And I would just be like, you know, and like, I hated feeling that way. There's some people that be like, oh, there's people when they're pregnant, they're lazy. I wasn't lazy. It's just my body just wouldn't go. Like, I couldn't do nothing but like lay down majority of the times. And I would try to get up and cook and try to do stuff, and I just start feeling dizzy and like I'm about to faint. So I'd go back and sit down and lay down for a bit and whatever, and I'd have to constantly lay down and get up, lay down and get up, lay down and get up. And that's when, you know, my awesome, you know, gentleman came into the picture. And, you know, he'll help me around with like cooking and cleaning and whatever. And made sure that I ate, tried to make sure that, you know, there was things to my liking, and that I was at least keeping something down so that I didn't feel so bad or whatever. And, you know, he was helping me out a lot when it came to, you know, me and my symptoms you know, in the beginning that I was struggling with. At about 3.5 to 4.5 months, my symptoms slowed down a bit. Like the morning sickness kind of left, you know, I'll say at 4 months and whatever. And, you know, I was happy, went back to like scoffing things down, like just not even chewing, swallowing everything, like seriously. Like I went down back to like, you know, eating, but then, you know, that didn't even last long because once I hit about 7 months, at about 29 weeks or so, I started getting acid reflux. So every time I eat something, it'll go down, but then it'll sit like right on my chest where it feels like it's trying to come back up. But then I don't need to throw up, but then the food's not going down, but it's not coming up either. So then it'll last for like a couple hours. So then even when I'm supposed to be eating like every 3 to 4 hours, I couldn't because I still have that food that's trying to come up. So I couldn't put nothing else down or it tried to come up also. And it would leave like a burning sensation in my chest. So I guess that was heartburn. I guess I have heartburn and acid reflux, and I still have it now. Like sometimes I'll try to eat. So now I got to go back to eating like lighter portions so that my digestive system can like digest it and like it can go down before, you know, so that I can actually keep things down and eat. And there's times I have acid reflux and I'm hungry as hell, and I'm just like, yo, how am I gonna get this food down when like I have this one sitting right here still trying to come up? Like I really had no answer for that. Till now I still don't have an answer for it. What else? Right now the symptoms that I get, like I just said, acid reflux, pelvic pressure. I have a lot of pelvic pressure, and like it's pressure and there's like a little bit of pain, like a sharp pain, and it goes down like my vagina. Sometimes it goes all the way down my left leg. Like I feel it mainly in my left leg. Like it goes all the way down my left leg, and I have to stop, and I can't stand. I have to like hold on to the wall and lift that leg up, and it's like, it's crazy. And that just started happening. The sharp pain down my left leg just started happening at about 8 months. Like, yeah, 8 months or so, going into about 8 months. Like, so like, and that just, you know, but the pelvic pressure started at about 7 months. Now I have this thing too where like I'm peeing constantly. I usually don't pee a lot during this pregnancy. I haven't been peeing a lot. I'm not sure why. I do drink a lot of fluids, maybe not a lot of water. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I'll probably have like a cup or two of water a day before. I'm still like that now. My body just doesn't want to take the water. It doesn't stay down. It comes back up and like, oh, and it's disgusting. So I, you know, either try to have like apple juice or like, you know, cranberry juice, like at least something healthy, but it's juice, you know, some healthy type of juice, you know, to keep stuff started. I try to stay away from the sweet juices, like, you know, grape, and I know apple does have a lot of sugar in it, but I water it down a bit or whatever. But yeah, so I do have a lot of like light pain. So now like I'll go to the toilet and my bladder is like pounding, and I get to the toilet and it's like psh, and that's it. And I'm just like, what were you exploding my stomach for? Like, what was the point of that? You know? I have this other thing where it's like bones cracking. Like my pelvic is cracking. Like it's like, and I feel it, and I feel the cracks. You can hear it, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, and it hurts. Not really hurt, but it feels bad. Like, you know, it's not like unbearable pain, but it feels bad. So then I'll have the pressure, and then I'll have my pelvic cracking while I'm feeling the pressure, and it's just like, I'm ready for this baby to like come out. Like I'm ready. Like it needs to come. Another is discharge. My discharge has pretty much been the same. You know, sorry if it's too much info, but it's pretty much been the same. The only thing that's really been different is like, I don't know, like how much. It's been more. And about a couple of days ago, I had like green discharge. I'm not sure if it was discharge or if it was my mucus plug or a piece of my mucus plug, but it was just like all green. Like it just looked snotty, like a big old blob of snot, and it was just green. And I called my midwife and I'm like, hey, she was like, it sounds like your mucus plug or it could be an infection. But then they checked my pee and all that stuff, and I don't have a UTI. I've never had one before, thank God. Knock on wood. But I've never had one before. So she was like, it's probably just your mucus plug, you know, don't worry about it, whatever. And then I wiped a little bit later and it was like blood, like spotting. So I was like, okay, maybe that was my mucus plug. But then even though I know I've heard that even if your mucus plug does come out, it doesn't matter, you may not go into labor a couple days or a couple weeks after that. I'm hoping that's not the case for me. I'm ready to go. Hopefully, you know, I get to enjoy Thanksgiving first, and then, or maybe I wouldn't mind Thanksgiving after when the acid reflux is gone too, but just not on Thanksgiving Day, or like where I'm gonna be stuck and not be able to eat because I'm in labor. Just hopefully it's not like that, but I'm hoping it comes out soon. And uncomfortable positions and emotions. Now the uncomfortable positions, I can't sit for a long period of time. Once I start sitting for a long, unless I'm on a birthing ball, which I'm on right now, as you can see, blah blah blah. I've been bouncing, but not like too much, just a little bit on my bottom. But when I'm on a birthing ball, I can sit and for a while, and it's like it's no problem. I don't have any issues. I don't get uncomfortable. My stomach don't start hurting. Nothing like that. Um, Nothing like that. Sometimes when I sit, like if I'm in a car or a hard chair or like on the couch or something like that, like I'll get uncomfortable and I'll start feeling like my chest tightening, like I can't breathe a little bit, and then like I'll get like burning sensations in my stomach. So then like I'll have to get up and start moving around, or like go lie down, or whatever the case is. Which is one of the part of the reason why I took my maternity leave a bit early. At my new job, I took my maternity leave a bit early because my new job requires a lot of sitting. I do a little bit of walking, but not as much. And when I am sitting, like I'll get uncomfortable and I start feeling like I can't breathe, and I'll get the burning sensation and all that stuff. And then I started getting all the pelvic cracking and pelvic pressure and the sharp pains down my leg, which caused me unable to be focused at work. And then I was having like strong Braxton Hicks, or I don't know if they were real contractions, but I was like really contracting and in pain and uncomfortable at work. So it started to become a problem, affecting my job. Like when I had to, do things, I wasn't able to focus because my body was just not working with me. So, um, yeah, and my emotions, in the beginning of my pregnancy, I was very like sad and emotional. I was cried almost about everything for no reason. Now I'm not really much of a crybaby. I'm more of an angry person. Like I snap, get angry, go crazy. But then I was kind of like that before. I wasn't an angry person before I was pregnant. I was just like, wild thing. But like, just like a very outgoing, funny, joking around, and cuckoo, not really cuckoo, but good cuckoo type of person. But now I get angry a lot. I'm very blunt, but then I was already blunt before I was pregnant, but now I guess it's worse and it offends a lot of people. And I'm sorry if I do offend you, but I don't mean to. I'm just being honest. And, because like now I feel like that I have a baby on the way, I have to take a lot of things into consideration that other people don't take into consideration. And I'm like, now that excuse me, sorry about that. Now that I have a child, like, I'm like, since we're in a certain situation and I live in a certain household, and stuff like that. Like, I try to have everybody, take certain things into consideration. And it's only because, like, like, I'm going to be raising a kid now. So, with me raising a kid, I want to be able to make sure that we're all on the same page and it's not constant conflict, because there's other people here who has kids as well. So, so it's like, I try to, like, conflict of interest, like, try to be like, hey, let's try to be careful with this and that and whatever. And like, you can try this style with, your kid or whatever the case is, and I'll try my own style or whatever. But I just try to, not be rude, but just to be honest when it comes to regards of kids and, consideration and other things that have to do within our household and so forth. The last one is what I'm scared about. Okay, now what I'm scared about, one of them being is going into labor too late. As I said, I took my maternity leave a little bit early. So being that I did, I had about 8 weeks of maternity leave. So I have only 4 weeks left. So I was hoping that the baby was going to be here, a little sooner. That way I'd be able to, postpartum and get back to work by the time the baby was born. But apparently that wasn't the case. I'm about to be 39 weeks. I'm currently 38 weeks and I think 5 days. About to be 39 weeks, and, little man is still not here. Yes, it's a boy. I don't know if I mentioned that, but yes, it's a boy, and I think you can tell by the bedding. But he's still not here, and next week I'll be 40 weeks, and I guess I'm probably going to start trying some induction, like natural inducing stuff to get it going. I've tried walking a lot. I've done the, sitting on the birth ball. I've been in a lot of bumpy car rides. Been doing basically the safe, natural ways recently. Nothing too strong, the sex, the semen, stuff like that. But I guess, I'll do another video with the other, which is the castor oil. I'm going to try that. And my midwife said something about walking on beach sand. I'm gonna try that, I guess, too. I'm not sure how that helps. Well, beach sand with the water, like walking in the water on the sand. I'm not sure how that helps, but she said that, and then she said the castor oil as well. So I'm gonna try those two things. Maybe when I reach about 40 weeks, if little man's not here by then. So hopefully he is. Another thing I'm afraid about is first time mom. I think everybody's afraid of that, about that. You know, hoping they don't make the wrong mistakes, they don't give up too quickly. The only thing that I hear is really challenging is breastfeeding, and I do plan on breastfeeding. So I hope that I don't give up, because when I start to get frustrated and overwhelmed, I tend to just be like, you know what, whatever, it is what it is. Like, you know, I don't give up easy, but then like I just don't like things bothering me. I don't like to feel stressed. I like to be happy, and I don't want to be stressed and then, you know, have a baby that starts to stress too, or is a very fussy baby because of my mood. So, you know, I take that into consideration as well. Being attached and not being able to cope. Now, not being able to cope is, you know, there's some people who have kids and then they end up with postpartum depression, and they're like they don't know what to do. They're not able to cope as well as the child as they wish they could have, or they don't have that sense of, you know, attachment. Like they don't have that sense of feeling where they feel like, okay, this is my child. I just hope I don't have that problem. I hope, like, you know, when the baby comes out, I'm just like, my baby, you know? And not like, okay, this is a kid, a baby. I just had it. It's here. What now? I just hope right now. Because, like, it literally hit me about probably 2 months ago. Like, damn, I'm really having a kid. Like, I'm about to be responsible for a whole nother human being. So, I'm just like, I don't know. But I just hope it goes well. I just hope that I don't have that issue and I'm able to cope with the child while I'm well with the child as well. I'm not a night person, and I don't like waking up in the middle of the night to do things. So that's one problem. Thank God for his father, because I'm hoping that he'll be able to do that, and I'll just, you know, I have my breast pump, so I'll be pumping away, and hopefully get some milk out, and that way in the middle of the night, he can participate in the feeding as well, and I'm just not the only person that has to get up and breastfeed, you know, not getting any sleep, because his work schedule kind of conflicts with my work schedule. That's number one, like when I go back to work. And the second thing is, when he does go to work, I'm usually here during the day, so I'll be here with the baby during the day. We'll both be here with the baby during the day. And then he leaves for work sometimes at 6, sometimes at 7, sometimes he works overnight. So I know most nights that I won't be getting any sleep, and I know other nights that I probably will get sleep, but he doesn't get off work till about 2, 3 in the morning. So I won't be getting any sleep until then. And I'm hoping that he'll be able to, you know, stay open in corporate, since I'm going to be spending the rest of the day, since I spent earlier in the day with the baby. So, and he usually sleeps during the day and then works at night. So I mean, I'm gonna be up all morning while he's trying to sleep during the day, and then I'm gonna be up all night while he's gonna work at night. So it's like a double fluency for me. But you know, we're gonna try to work it out the best that we can. And what else? I think that's it. I think I went over everything. Oh, and the being attached. With attached, it's not that big of a deal. It's just, there's some mothers that I know that didn't go back to work or anything until their kid turned about 1.5, 2 years old, because they didn't want to leave them while they were being breastfed up to their 1. Then they would pump, and also they didn't trust anybody with their kid. Now, I have a big thing when it comes to trusting. I'm the person, if I want my kid to a certain way, or if I want things done a certain way with my child, or with anything that has to do with me in particularly, I expect it to be done that way. And there's a lot of people that I've witnessed, like, you know, when, you know, they babysit other people's kids, like the parents will be like, oh, make sure you don't give the kid this, don't feed them that. When they go to bed, try to put them on this sheet and whatever. And they don't respect the wishes of the parents. Like, they'll just be like, yeah, and wait for the parents to get out or leave, and then they'll do whatever they want, like, you know, just to, like, I guess keep the kid quiet, or whether so they don't have to deal with the child for a while. And I'm just like, man, like, I don't want to have to deal with somebody who's going to be doing that with my kid. Like, if I want a certain pattern, or if my kid's already used to something a certain way and it works best for me parenting, then I want it to be able to stick that way. I don't want I'm doing something one way and then someone else comes in and they mess up the whole pattern or flow, or they're doing things that I don't feel like is safe or right for my child. So I'm a very, I don't know, very, I'm not sure how that's going to go, but I do hope that it goes well, pretty well. I'm just praying to God that it does. And I'm hoping that's how it goes for my kid. So that's basically it for now. I showed you guys my bump already. Pretty small bump. I know, I'm all baby. I was pretty fit before I got pregnant, so I guess that explains it. And I guess that's it for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe below. We have more videos to come. I'll try to keep you guys posted as much as I can, and hopefully get to see more of Tommy as well. And yeah, in and out. Peace.